Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remko Rinkema. As you can see down below here in our whole new universe here on my backdrop, I am hosting the show called Run It Back, and that means only one thing. We watch old school poker action from the past with a bit of a twist with my commentary, interactions with you guys in the chat. Please let me know where you are watching from. Please let me know what's on your mind. And today we are diving into something that I've never watched before. I've said this before on the show. I've watched the most poker of any person on the planet, but this somehow slipped through the cracks because I was at this event. So I sort of vaguely remember this event, but not entirely. But we are watching the 2009 WSOP Europe Caesars Cup. So this is a bit of an odd one. This is a bit of a strange event, but we will have some fun with it. But first, of course, we need to watch this introduction because they're explaining how this event works, and I'm also very curious what the rules are exactly. I got a little over 90 minutes of footage for you guys, so please interact with me in the chat. I'm flying solo today because I want to hang out with you guys, with the fans in the chat. So please, go in here into the chat on Facebook, on Twitch, or on YouTube, wherever you are watching, and join me for a viewing party of this throwback footage. If you've already watched it, maybe not spoil it for the results because I don't know, I don't remember who won this show, so I have no clue. Just so you know, as you can see on the screen, all the content that we are streaming on PokerGO, on Run It Back, is available on PokerGO, and we have new merch out. Go to PokerGoShop.com to check out our merch. Okay, first, I'm going to shut up for a second here because we're going to watch the intro because they're going to explain the rules of how this game works and every single player that was involved back during when this was first aired. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. I'm very curious. I really want to know what this format is all about. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right.
In golf, it's the Ryder Cup. In tennis, the Davis Cup. Now, poker has one of its own, the Caesars Cup. Europe versus the Americas. Annette's got 8 All-Stars on her team. I've got 8 on mine. It's about pride, it's about bragging rights, it's about making history. A tradition starts now.
All right, this looks amazing. In case you guys didn't understand it yet, I need to know in the chat if you are Team Americas or Team Europe. We have the US and Canada versus the entire continent of Europe. So please let me know in the chat if you are Team Europe or Team Americas, Ryder Cup style. So let's see how this goes. I think we have Lon McCarran and Norman Chad on the call, so this should be a fun one.
Spectacular backdrop for the first ever Caesars Cup. I'm Lon McCarran with Norman Chad and the Casino at the Empire, once again playing host.
All right, we're seeing all the familiar faces, and that gives me a chance to give a shout out to all the familiar faces I see in the chat. Dave Temple, as always, watching from Hull. I appreciate you, as always. We have Sean saying USA, USA. We have lots of USA. Dave, of course, is here to support Europe. I'm also on Team Europe, by the way. I'm from the Netherlands originally, so I have to support Team Europe. Antonio in the house from Chicago. I see Chris from Canada. Fadel is here from Paris. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. David from Canada. We have Chris from Long Island, New York in the house as well. Please like the video, subscribe to our channels, and share it with all your friends because the more, the merrier here on the most international show in all of poker. There's Daniel Negreanu, the captain of Team Americas. Annette Oberstad, the captain of Team Europe. This was during peak Annette Oberstad time. Oh, wow. Phil Ivey in the mix, Doyle Brunson, Jennifer Harmon. This is amazing. Oh, here are the rosters. Let's quickly go over them. Let's pause this video. You guys shout out some of your favorite players in the chat, if you will. We have Patrik Antonius, Peter Eastgate, Elke, Gus Hansen, John Harvey. Don't know who that is. Dario Minieri, Annette Oberstad, and Mr. Zygmunt himself, Ilari Sahamias in the Europe team. And then we have Doyle Brunson, Barry Greenstein, Jennifer Harmon, Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey, John Juanda, Daniel Negreanu, and Huckleberry Seed representing the Americas. Wow, this is about as stacked as it gets. John Harvey, how did you get a seat? Please let me know. I'm very curious. This is pretty spectacular. We have Franco, Jess, Ashan, Tim, Michael in the chat on YouTube. Benny there as well. I appreciate you guys all watching. People on Twitch also, feel free to chime in. We're trying to get some hype going here on the show. I'm going to try to listen in as much as we can to this show because I have no idea how this works.
So, thinking maybe you guys play as a team, and then you pair up against Ivey, and you play against Huck, whatever they choose to do. So I think that's the best way we can do it. But good luck.
So Annette going with two Finnish players, Patrik Antonius and Ilari Sahamias, better known as Zygmunt online.
Okay, I guess we're playing heads up then.
The first two matches are alternate bet. Teammates share a chip stack, but they alternate betting rounds.
Hold on, this is the Doubles Poker Championship. Guys, if you're a running back fan, if you watched the running back show before, I watched all 13 episodes of the Doubles Poker Championship this past winter. This is the exact same format. I've been raving about this format for so many months as I've been watching the Doubles Poker Championship. So here we are, Doubles Poker Championship rules. Everyone who's a running back fan knows how this works. The cards get passed back and forth on every street. They're playing heads up in this format. We're going to see how this goes, but this is very exciting for me.
Player plays pre-flop, the other plays the flop, and then they switch back again.
You'll want to be in sync with your partner if possible, like in bridge, bid whist, and the occasional marriage.
Each team will start with 100,000 chips.
Team Americas is older with a lot of bracelets. Team Europe is younger with a lot of online experience.
Blinds start at 1,000 and 2,000. Patrik Antonius has first honors for Team Europe, and he'll raise it to 6,000 right off the bat with Jack Trey suited.
Just so everyone knows, while we're watching this footage, we are releasing all the old WSOP Europe footage onto PokerGO. We are in the middle of it right now. We are releasing it year by year, so very exciting if you've never watched that before, or if you are just in general excited like myself to relive some of these moments, then you should definitely get into the mix. The cards are getting passed back and forth between Patrik and Ilari and Huck and Phil. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Dave Temple says, great format, alternate streets. Carlos is here from Guatemala. Carlos, are you rooting for the Americas or for Europe? I'm very curious to see how you feel. Let's see. Oh, Alexander is pointing out that this is not really the Americas because I guess Mexico is not represented, or it should be called North America, and the Americas would imply that Brazil has a seat at the table as well. So yeah, more arguments to do this again and to do it better and to do a doubles poker format like we are seeing right now, and then doing it with all of the Americas.
Patrik Antonius, he also can be aggressive.
Flush draw versus top pair.
He's going to bet 21,000.
Splashing the pot is not fair.
How much is that?
This is set up for a nice check raise here from Phil. I've been working with him on this part of his game.
Uh-oh. Ivey trying to figure out if top pair is good here.
Like you said, once the turn is done, there's nothing left for me to do, right? I mean, just say that.
Ivey just with a call.
Yeah, let me have fun too, huh?
Why is he just calling this? This is why he can't win the main event.
Play another street.
All right, we'll see a river card here on hand number 1. It's a 9 of diamonds. So top pair will be good. And Team Americas checks again.
And trust me, every bone in Sahamias' body wants to bluff at this pot one more time. He knows Team Europe can't win the pot unless he bets at it.
Europe missed their draw. Sahamias reaching for chips.
I love how everyone's sweating in the background.
Queens with like queen high flush draw, you know. Picked up the flush draw on the turn. Oh, no, I mean,
Part of the fun of the Caesars Cup. You got a peanut gallery behind you.
I'll win on one hand.
Sahamias asking himself one question: is there any amount I could bet here that Huckleberry Seed would fold his hand?
Sahamias checks back.
Yeah, I was hoping he would bet that.
Indeed.
Huck says he's hoping he bet that.
All right, flush draw doesn't get it. Daniel is very excited. Phil Hellmuth is filming with an iPhone from the first generation, probably.
Top pair, good job.
You would have not called him, right? Huh?
Daniel Negreanu with a little Tommy Osorda rah-rah business to him.
We don't just fold top pair just so easy.
Good start for Ivey and C. Team
Oh, look at Joe Seabuck in the back there. Definitely a good old throwback here on the Caesars Cup from back in 2009. Kyle, yes, this was 2009 at the Empire Casino in London. Mark says, oh, we'll see what Daniel has to say.
Amazingly well. What happened there in that hand?
I'm really excited. I mean, whenever you're in a situation where you're the one checking and the other people are betting, it's a scary spot. So we're all on the rail going, ooh, please don't bet, because we know if that happens, we're going to win it. But my strategy going in was, let's throw out the two best, you know, and Huxseed has a better record in this format than anyone in history, and Phil Ivey, he's pretty good at poker, from what I've heard. So we threw them out, but they have a formidable opponents in Patrik and Zygmunt. But to have the nice lead early on, that's a really good start. We really need to go 1-0.
All right, so we are playing heads-up matches today on this format. We have plenty more to come. We are just only getting started. Yes, Mark, it could have been over in one hand, but then, of course, the second matchup would be a thing. All right, ace-queen against 8-3 probably won't go anywhere. Keep those shouts coming in the chat. Where are you guys watching from? I do appreciate it. Wisco Bear says, hey, Remco, congrats on the house. Thank you so much. My girlfriend and I, we just bought a house in Vegas, so we are here to stay. That also means, by the way, that this might be the very last episode ever with the bicycle in the back. Because right now, I'm in my tiny apartment. I'm in my kitchen. I'm in my living room. I'm in my garage. I'm in my gym. It's all in one place. Going forward, I might build my own studio. Maybe no room for bikes. Let me know if you guys want to keep the bikes in the background. The bikes are definitely moving to the garage when we get to the new house. Snappiness on Twitch says, what an effing old video. It is correct. It is a very old video. 2009. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I dig into the archives sometimes to get something exciting for you guys to watch because we haven't seen it in so long. And if you want to watch it without my commentary, you can do so on PokerGO right now. So that's all I want to say. We're having some fun out here. All right. The Europeans have a bit of a lead in this hand, even though we have some backdoor hearts involved. Let's see if this goes anywhere.
Play the pair of aces.
How did John Harvey get a seat on this team?
With those two aces, he bets 9,000.
Now see, if Phil Ivey just calls here, then he's leaving it up to Huckleberry to turn water into wine.
Ivey with one last look before the muck.
Barrels with that.
All right, folds the backdoor flush draw. Can't really blame him for that, but still a little passive. Thanks, Zachary. I appreciate it so much. Dunch Fastmo says, watching from the Americas. I appreciate it. Luis in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got Orange County in the house as well. Fadel is asking, are they playing in Vegas? No, they are playing in London at the Empire Casino. Dave Temple says, lose the bikes. Man, so harsh. So harsh. Christopher in the house from Connecticut. I appreciate you watching as well. Mookie says, double John Hennigan. I don't think John Hennigan was involved in this, but John Harvey is involved in this, and I've never heard of the man before, so maybe he won a qualifier to get into this match. All right, Team Americas has a bit of a lead. It's Ivey and Huckleberry Seed versus Patrik Antonius and Zygmunt.
Tray of clubs.
Patrik and Zygmunt first met shooting pool together. That's when Zygmunt got interested in poker.
A raise to 6,000 from Antonius, who will match up each time against Phil Ivey, who makes the call.
I wish Phil would learn to raise once in a while.
All right, with ace-9 suited, they make the call. The flop king-10 tray, a pair of trays for Team Europe.
I didn't look yet.
And remember, it's alternate bet, so we saw Patrik against Phil. Now we will see Zygmunt against Huckleberry Seed.
Seed checks.
Any pair in heads up is usually good, including bottom pair.
Team Europe holds a pair of trays, and they bet at 8,000.
Throw 8 in.
Heck, Huckleberry not only makes the bad call, he makes Phil put the chips in.
Check called again. That's what we do. We check call.
You're so strong at doing that.
So they will see a turn card. It is a 5 of hearts.
Interesting card.
Team America's with a flush draw.
It's a good betting card for Phil Ivey if he wishes. Why wouldn't Ivey semi-bluff there? Maybe his poker instincts didn't clear customs.
A check from both teams. River card now, Jack of diamonds, and the pair of trays is best for Team Europe. Huxseed reaching for the chips. 19,000, he'll take a shot at it with ace high.
Seed senses weakness and will bluff the river. It may work, but I think the bet came one street too late. This would be for more than 1/3 of Team Europe's remaining stack.
And they've got bottom of the bottom pair.
So play the king. That's my prediction.
They might even have better than that.
Wow, they're way off.
Helmuth and Negrano way overly optimistic on Team America's hand.
Zygmunt lays down the best hand, and Team America's takes another pie.
The bluff works. I'm wrong again.
All right, USA, or I should say North America, or the Americas, winning another pot here. Mookie says, I like your interviews on PokerGO, by the way. I subbed for high stakes and was happy with all the other content. I appreciate that, Mookie. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'm glad you love the high stakes poker action. For all of those who haven't seen the latest season of high stakes poker, I would highly recommend you go check that out. We had, I believe, 13 or 14 new episodes that came out for 14 weeks straight, so tons of new action out there. Tom Dwan in the mix, Phil Ivey, Jean-Robert Ballon, even some new players, Jason Kuhn, Nick Petrangelo. So much action. So much action. You have to watch it. All the episodes are now available on PokerGO, so if you subscribe right now, you can watch them all in a row. all in a row. No one is even going to say anything. And we have an equal amount of new episodes of Poker After Dark available as well. So don't forget that you can watch those as well. All right, all in here?
Oh, nice.
Nope. He folds. He lays it down. All right. What else we got here? Zachary Weatherford says, John Harvey was a qualifier from Betfair. I love that you told me that. That is great. I mean, I would be so intimidated playing amongst these legends. You guys in the chat, please let me know. How would you feel having to pair up with some of these legends?
Everybody on my team deserves to be there. Everybody's super strong. I mean, obviously Elke has won everything that he's played the last 2 years. So, I mean, if I need anyone to step in, I'm probably going to pick him just because he's running super good. He's playing good. He's on top of his game. And of course, you know, Patrik Antonius, he's the nuts. And so is everybody else on the team. So it's going to be tough to pick. I think maybe we're going to go after Phil Ivey, but don't tell him I said that. I just think that, you know, Phil is a player who's super good at playing weaker opponents, but I think he's going to have a tough time. I just can't help thinking that.
The Phil Hellmuth shade. We have high stakes duel coming up on Tuesday, and Annette Oberstad, more than 13 years ago, is calling out Phil Hellmuth for his play against better players. This conversation has been going on for decades. I love it. High stakes duel, by the way, coming at you next week. Go check it out. It is going to be exclusively on PokerGO. You cannot miss the action. March 31st, I believe. I'm going to go double check that. At 8 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to be coming at you from the PokerGO studio. Daniel Negreanu versus Phil Hellmuth, 100K match. I find it hilarious that Annette Oberstad is making a reference to Phil Hellmuth's playing style, which has been the exact thing that I've been talking about, and Brent and Jeff Platt on No Gamble, No Future for the last couple of weeks. And it's so funny that this is still a thing. This was already a thing so many years ago. Luis, I am live, so you can ask me all the questions that you want. We are watching Old School Action, though, from back in 2009. This commentary show, as the chat already referenced to, is live every Thursday night. And next week, I'm having Ben CB on my show, online poker legend. We're going to watch some high stakes tournament action with him. He told me, I'll watch whatever you want as long as it's tournaments. He clearly is not a cash game guy. So Ben CB on the show next week, so don't miss that. We're going to watch some tournament action with him as well. All right, let's listen in.
King of spades on the turn, no help to Team Americas. Team Europe adds the nut flush draw. Huckleberry seed checks.
Action now over to Zygmunt.
Wondering why Huxseed would have checked. And he checks back.
I do.
River card is an ace. Team Europe now with aces up. First action on Phil Ivey.
Well, we got chips over there, too.
Oh, Phil's going to get busy now?
Yeah, he'll represent the ace. Bets 10,000.
So now Phil Ivey will bluff at it after Team Europe hits its ace. If I were Daniel Negreanu and it were allowed, I would pull Phil Ivey's butt right out of that chair and replace him with any American in the casino.
Action on Patrik Antonius. After Ivey's bet. Patrik putting together a raise makes it 30,000.
That sucks.
Patrik thinks for sure his hand is best. The jack kicker would not play. If Team America's also had an ace, we'd have a chop pot here. But I think that raise is going to end matters.
Yeah, we don't have just a 9.
It doesn't look like a 10-8. It could be a 9.
Ivey lays it down, and Team Europe takes the pot.
All right, little comeback there for the Finns against the two Americans. Andrew Richard is saying, does Annette still play? No, she doesn't, but she still lives in Las Vegas with her husband. I believe she now has her own YouTube channel on which she does makeup tutorials, and that's doing really well from what I've last seen, and it's really cool to see that she's been able to apply herself in a different way. So if you could Google Annette Oberstad on YouTube, or if you look it up on YouTube, you can find her other channels, her new passion, and I believe she's still in Las Vegas. Holy Toledo says Hellmuth sells himself. He really does overthink. I mean, Hellmuth is a straight up legend, no doubt about it. But he's also a little crazy, which is why I love him. And you know, it's just a fact that he's really good against amateur players. But then again, he's also crushed Mr. Antonio Sfandiari in the most recent high stakes duel, winning 3 matches in a row versus him. Can he do the same thing against Daniel Negreanu? I don't think so. Do you guys at home believe that? Let me know in the chat. Do you think Daniel Negreanu is going to beat Phil Hellmuth on high stakes duel? I'm very curious to hear what everyone thinks.
Aggressive.
Action on Patrik Antonius. And he saw no pre-flop raise, so maybe he thinks he can take it down with a bet. He does bet 9,000.
Why not? Patrik says, you don't want it, I'll take it.
No action on Ivey. And he's slow, but he does make the call.
Why don't they just start a check call academy? The Huck and Phil Check Call Poker Academy and Finishing School.
Hey, Team Americas is in the lead. Give them some slack. 7 of diamonds on the turn. That hits Team Europe with a pair.
Again, if Phil had bet the flop or check raised the flop, the hand might have been over, and now Europe has hit the turn.
I think we should have been more like a team. We should have all 8 players shown up with that haircut.
Well, I'm not playing then.
Well, and we should shave our heads next year as a show of solidarity. Plus, I think the ladies would like it.
All right, so Team America's checked, and then a 20,000 chip bet from Europe.
Well, Huckleberry should fold here, then turn to Phil and say, "What's your problem, pal?"
Part A complete. He folds. And Team Europe with another win.
Patrick.
See, it's kind of good that Patrick and Hillary can talk to each other and finish because no one, including myself, won't understand what they're saying. Chris Spence, he says Negranu for the heads-up win. I'm with you, Chris. I think Negranu is going to win high-stakes duel next week. I'm very confident in Negranu. I might even wager on it. Who knows? I might even find a friend to take some action on this. Let's see. Kyle says Negranu is the best heads-up player he's ever seen. He would definitely beat Phil Hellmuth heads-up. I mean, best ever, I wouldn't say, because he just lost 1.2 million playing against Doug Polk. But I do think Negranu is epic. He's class. He's very, very good. I think he has the upper hand against Hellmuth, but I cannot wait to see all the Hellmuth blow-ups that we might see on the show next week on the 31st of March. It's just going to be epic. All right, let's see how this match continues.
Team America's ahead right now. The flop is 9-9 trade. Neither team catches anything.
Well, let's see if Zygmun's got any pep in his step.
He checks, no pep.
Well, Team Americas has shown no sign of aggression. Why start here? Go ahead, check.
Okay.
And that's what they do.
Flop is worth 30 dimes to me, buddy.
The turn card is a 5. Europe takes the lead with a pair of 5s.
Once again, the Europeans get to stick around cheaply, and they hit the turn.
And they will check it sneakily. Ivey checks back.
A lot of caution in the wind.
River card is a deuce. That hits Team Americas. Each team with 2 pair, but Europe with the best of it.
Hey, look at Team Europe back there. Looks like a bunch of losers at a singles bar, and nobody's got the guts to buy the pretty girl a drink.
Zygmun will be acting with his 9s and 5s.
Zygmun thinks he's got the best hand.
And he bets 13,000. And with 2 pair, Team Americas will make the call. And a 5 makes all the difference for Europe.
Yes, we have a pair. We win.
Team Europe wins that and takes a slight lead in match number 1.
Right now, Lon, you and I could be playing as well as Huck and Phil. That's how bad they're playing.
Pair of 5s. Yeah, we had a pair. I was like, he turned his hand. I'm like, yes, we have a pair. We win. Ship the pot.
Daniel Negreanu has put out his team's 2 best heads-up players for the opening match, and they're staking up the joint.
So critical to win the first match in this best-of-7 event. And Team Europe with the advantage right now.
Nice little comeback there from Team Europe after getting off to a bad start here. We are watching the 2009 World Series of Poker Europe Caesars Cup from the Empire Casino in London. Thanks so much to everyone tuning in. Please like this video. I highly appreciate it if you could do that. And let me know if you have any questions or any comments, any predictions on Negranu versus Hellmuth in the upcoming high-stakes duel match, or if you have any suggestions or ideas about the upcoming new season of High Stakes Poker that we're taping. Who do you want to see? All right, we have it all in here. Let's listen in.
7, 8, 9 is a good flop.
The flop is 4 trays, 7 Team Americas with a gut shot.
That's not good.
But Europe's still a 3-2 favorite to end this opening match.
You see our new out tracker. That's what Americas needs to take the lead in the hand. Europe ahead with King Deuce. Their turn card is a king, pushing Ivey and Seed to the brink.
Well, we still got the 5 here.
That was no fun.
Only a 5 keeps Ivey and Seed alive.
River card is another 4, and Kings Up will win the hand for Team Europe, and they score first in this Caesars Cup.
All right, Team Europe, let's go.
He got me with the Jack 5. That was the key hand.
So that's going to do it for this match. Team Americas look good early. But Europe scores first. They now have a 1-0 lead in this best-of-7 series.
All right, best of 7 series here for the Caesars Cup. Team Europe, come on, get some chants going in the chat here. I'm on Team Europe. If you're on Team Europe, please say something in the chat. I'm pretty sure the Team Americas are heavily outnumbering us in the chat today. But I am enjoying the content. I think this is a pretty funny format, the doubles poker format for people who are just tuning in. Basically what it means is that on every street, the cards go back and forth in this heads-up battle. So the cards move back and forth between the players. They are playing on a team, and it is a best of 7. 4 points are required to win, and the unavailable players are the ones that have already played. So let's see what happens in the next match, because I'm curious to see who the coaches will pick.
Made her choices.
Let's do it, John.
Oh, there it is.
Europe will send out Elke Grospellier with an amateur online qualifier, John Harvey from Scotland.
I'm pretty sure this guy's from Northern Europe. Are you from Northern Europe? Is he from Northern Europe? Because Phil loves playing with guys from Northern Europe. Phil, you and me, let's get him.
Oh, yes.
And Phil's going to play with a cup of tea.
There we go.
Yeah, he wanted to play against Phil.
So Phil will be matched.
I mean, let's just pause this frame here for a second. Isn't this a world, like a work of art here to watch Helmuth and Negroni play on the same team? I mean, this is high-stakes duel, but they're on the same team. This is just brilliant.
Up against the Northern European amateur, 47-year-old Harvey is a pipe inspector.
The qualifier against Helmuth. Bambi against Godzilla.
All right, Phil.
All right, let me take a look, Daniel. See what we got.
Pop it up. Let's get these. Never mind.
17,000.
100,000 each, starting stack for each team. Queen 7 of clubs for Team Americas and a call of 1,000.
So, check.
And a check with 8-4 offsuit from the amateur from Team Europe. Here's our flop. Jack 6-8 middle pair for Team Europe.
Elke, one of the hottest players in the world. John Harvey, one of the most unknown players in the world. Not much for Daniel Negreanu to do in this spot.
Daniel will lay it down. Score 1 for Team Europe.
Good fold.
It's all good. No, I was never going to raise there. I just moved off.
Wow.
We might want to play a little slower than racing the first time up.
With absolute air.
It will be very interesting, Norman, to see how well Helmuth and Negroni play together.
I don't even want to talk
Well,
about
they are
this.
playing
I
for
want to
the
hear them
inaugural
speak.
Caesars Cup. Originally, they were going to be playing for a Caesar salad, but they couldn't keep it fresh.
All right. Jack 9 offsuit for Harvey and Team Europe. A call of 1,000. Pocket queens for Helmuth and Negroni. And a raise to 4,000.
Oh, sorry.
Just a min raise from Phil Helmuth. Very typical of the poker brat.
You're not off the hook yet.
Action still on Harvey, pre-flop.
Come on, John Harvey.
Make the call.
Come on, beat Helmuth,
Now
please.
we'll move to
One
Daniel
time.
against Elke on the flop.
And here's the flop. Queen, ace, 10,
Wow.
a set for Helmuth and Negroni. An
King,
up and down
please.
straight draw for Team Europe. And now Daniel sees he's holding a monster.
This is amazing.
He will bet 3,000.
I have to look, maybe.
I believe Elke picks the color of his hair daily based on the barometric pressure.
Team Europe needing an 8 or a king for a straight, and they'll make the call.
Mr. Harvey looks tense, guys. I hope he can loosen up a little bit.
Turn card, Jack of spades, 3 spades on the board, 4 cards to a straight out there. Team America's still ahead with their set. Helmuth bets 3,000 again.
Big advantage here for Team Americas. The better hand, and I think the better player.
Look at Harvey just
makes
calling
the
so
call.
quick.
River card is a 5, no straight for Europe. Team America's hold the best hand with their set.
That's still a scary board for a set of queens. If Team Europe just has a king, you're beat by a straight.
Flush draw out there as well. 4,000 from Team America's, another small bet.
Yeah, Negroni does not want to hear raise from Elke.
Europe just with a pair of jacks. And Elke lays it down.
Oh, boy. Yeah, there we go. My goodness.
Oh,
5
my
high. Take it
God.
down.
Show us bluff. Let me see that hand. Let me see
There's
that
no
hand.
bluff to show, and I wish they hadn't have shown us that high 5.
A little sloppy.
I don't know.
A good start for Team America's in match number 2.
Wow, this is hilarious watching Daniel and Phil on the same team. I can't believe that they're playing against each other coming up next week on Wednesday night. Taylor says, heads up, you need a killer instinct, which Phil Hellmuth seeds too often because of his volatile personality. DN for the win. Taylor, thank you so much for chiming in. I think you're kind of spot on, but I think that also Hellmuth has won a lot in recent times. So he's riding that cloud of positivity, that cloud of confidence, and it is really hard to stop Phil Hellmuth if he's got all that confidence in the world that only he has. He has more confidence than me on my best day. Let's see. Sukwata8 on Twitch says, completely forgot about Annette. That was such a huge moment in poker when she won WSOP. Yes, indeed. 2007 World Series Poker Europe, the first ever time they organized the event. An 18-year-old Annette Oberstad won the event for £1 million, and that made her into an instant poker superstar. She hung around for quite a few years, and she's given up poker now, and I think she's moved on to a different career.
Hand, so.
Oh, don't worry, he'll bail you out.
Oh, we must be suited over here, huh? We gotta be suited, buddy.
Phil should be folding this hand, and actually I think he's giving away a little information here to Elke.
I hate to put you in a little trap here, Daniel. You're so good at playing these hands.
I can handle it.
It's not even suited.
Wow, this is hilarious.
Phil makes the call.
This is not even a good hand.
More, and we'll see a flop.
Because I'm good at playing that.
I wonder if they have a suited connector or not.
The flop, 8-10-6. That hits both teams. Top pair for Europe, middle pair with a gut shot for Team Americas.
I think Hellmuth gave away the hand. Unless he's lying, Elke knows they don't have a pocket pair. You know, they probably have something like 8-9, 7-8, 6-7. So Team Europe knows its top pair is good right now.
Interesting concept, Norman. Each team has two players to read on the other side of the table. Elke makes a bet of 13,000 with top pair.
Well, Team America's hand should have been in the muck pre-flop, but now Daniel's not going anywhere. They hit that flop good, but they're still behind. Daniel's deciding on a call or a raise.
Just get it in there. Pair and a gut shot, let's go.
Team America started this hand with a slight lead. Negroni really working this one out.
Wow, we could have got the joint. You know?
Raise. Oops, that one's coming back. You got 13 plus another 28 more.
Now, Phil put Daniel in a tough spot, but then that flop looked really good to Team America's.
Elke now with a pair of tens.
In 2008, Elke won a European Poker Tour title worth $2 million and a WPT title worth $1.4 million.
With all that lip flap from the Americans about their hand, Elke might have a pretty good idea what he's up against.
Power poker, boys.
Power poker, right? That's how we play.
I'm all in.
Wow, that's power poker.
Let's go.
What do we have?
Power poker
top
squared.
Pair, top pair and straight draw?
We have middle pair and straight draw.
And Negroni will make the call for 41,000 more.
Let's go.
It's Team Europe at risk, but they're ahead.
It was a little bit of a cooler.
You see the out tracker.
Oh, boy.
7, 8, 9.
Norman, can Daniel see the out tracker?
He is the
I
out
think we had
tracker.
extra, but it's just 7, 8, 9.
I was dead. I'm happy now.
But that's a good flop for our hand.
Yeah, but Team Europe now in a position to double up and cripple Team
I thought we were
America's.
suited.
One time, dealer. One time in my life, please hold.
One time in his life.
It's a 5 on the turn. No help to Team America.
The $10 million man.
Team America's needs a 7, 8, or 9.
Deuce.
River card is a 4. Team America's comes up short. A double up for Team Europe.
And Team America's left with 16,000 chips, just 8 big blinds.
A huge hand there for Team Europe. Does Elke think it's over? You don't come across the net in Davis Cup until it's over.
Why would he ever raise call at flop at 8-9?
All right. We've come back worse than this.
Maybe I should have mucked that one before the flop. Yeah.
It was a little, just against, because the guy, I thought he was a little stronger than that, but
He didn't seem like he was that strong to me, but
The American
Big win for Elke there, wearing the rhinestone shirt with the True Religion. I think it's an Ed Hardy True Religion type combo. This is really showing the time, 2009. Oh my God, yes, I also own a pair of True Religion jeans. Let me know in the chat if you were also on Team Rhinestone. That seemed to be the play back in the day. My God, I have some awkward photos from back during those times.
Lead. Harvey looks down at 4, deuce of clubs, makes a call. Team Americas with a suited 9-7 checks their option.
Elke in the qualifier now poised to beat Kid Poker and the greatest Hold'em player in the world.
The flop, ace 10 king misses both. Team America's still ahead with their 9 high and a check.
Elke might bet here to try to end the hand before it goes back to Harvey versus Hellmuth.
No, but he checks back and we'll see a turn. Turn card is another ace and 2,000 from Hellmuth. And a fold from Harvey, and Team Americas gets a few back.
Keith says, ego's got the best of that hand. Indeed, the 9-8 suited could have just gotten into the muck, but they went for it, and problems.
This edition of Cab Chat.
I feel a little bit bad, actually, taking you out in a taxi cab, because it's too normal, right? If you're going to arrive somewhere, generally you should be born on a litter of minions, or there should be a horse and carriage. This is not up to your standard.
Well, I mean, that's the poker brat image. That's the, that's the brand. The poker brat brand lets you not wait in lines at any restaurant ever.
Nice.
It lets you, not ever wait in line at clubs. It lets you get all these extra VIP privileges, and it's nice, and then it doesn't necessarily extend to London. We had a 10 o'clock reservation the other night, and we didn't get seated till 10:45. Now, I was a little bit steamed, but I also tried to remind myself, Phil, you're so blessed. You never have to wait ever, so, let's not be like a frickin' diva.
No diva. Poker brat is not a diva.
No poker brat diva.
I can't believe Phil waited 45
I mean, let's be real. Phil Hellmuth is a giant diva. He would be the first to admit that.
minutes to get a restaurant table. Usually when it gets to a half hour, he calls the U.S. Embassy.
Kyle says, this might be a dumb question. No, it's not, Kyle. There are no dumb questions, only dumb answers. Are Phil and Daniel playing Heads Up next week in real time 2021, or will it be pre-recorded Heads Up match? No, this is real time. This is live. It is happening at the PokerGO studio, and it's going to be a blast, and it's going to be can't miss poker. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, March 31st. Mark your calendars. It's going to be very, very exciting. 100K match between Phil and Daniel. We might break the internet. All right, we're all in.
Team America's pocket sevens against the King 4 of Team Europe.
We might want to save it for another time.
Here's the flop. Oh, a king in the window, but also a 7 for Team Americas.
Oh, that high five ought to be retired.
I know. That's brutal.
If we lose this one, whatever.
The problem for the Americans is they need to double up a couple of times to get back into this thing.
Turn card is a jack, and that will end it. Team Europe drawing dead. Team America's still alive with that double up.
All right, the action continues between Daniel and Phil versus Mr. John Harvey, the online qualifier, and Elke here in the 2009 World Series of Poker Europe Caesars Cup, which is a best-of-7 heads-up series taking on the doubles poker format where you play in teams of 2 in this heads-up format. Trumero says, I love PokerGO and Remco. You bring the content. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Don't forget to hit that like button if you are enjoying the content. We're going to have tons of fun with whatever questions you guys have coming in. And please, don't forget to let me know where you're watching from. I love to see if I need to shout out some international locales here on the show. Ricky says, isn't Daniel Canadian? Yes, he is. But this is the Americas. So Canada and the USA playing against Europe. They should have included, Brazil, Mexico, and a whole bunch of other countries. But in this case, it's only Canada and the USA. Aces for Daniel and Phil.
Hands on that one, Lon.
What a slow roll.
We don't slow roll.
John slow rolled you? Did you hear Johnny went, woohoo? That was really...
Still in this situation, the trade deuce is still going to beat the pocket aces 1 out of 7 times or
Can I bet
so.
on the deuce 3?
Deuce of clubs, trade diamond.
Ace-5 jack on the flop, 4 on the turn.
On the river.
Yeah.
For us, of course. All right, you got it, 1,000.
Americans look a little disorganized over there, and I don't see Phil Ivey. I guess there's a craps table somewhere in the casino.
Here's the flop.
Yeah, you got it, bet.
And there's an ace, a set for Team Americas.
Well, now the trade deuce is going to win this hand 1 out of 50 times.
4 or 5, 1 time.
Turn card is a 6, and that will end it. Europe drawing dead.
Wow, double up again.
Owning you so bad.
26.
It's easy when you get aces.
Yeah, aces and 7s.
Must be nice.
Well, I'm glad Negrano got those aces. Hellmuth might have misplayed them.
Captain Negrano in first mate. Hellmuth not going away easily. They're back to 52,000. But Team Europe still holding an almost 3-1 advantage. Hellmuth looks down at King Jack.
Wow, another big
offsuit.
hand.
Just a call for 2,000.
Phil certainly could have raised there.
Europe with 9-6 off. Checks their option.
I'm just thinking if we should go after these guys.
The flop, 5 tray 6 Europe with a pair of 6s.
This might not go anywhere. Negrano and Helmuth have only limped in. Let's see. Kevmath in the house. How is John Joanna from America? He definitely is not. He is from Indonesia. He lives in Japan. Kevmath, I don't know. The rules might have been different back in 09. They got him as American on Hendon Mob, I believe, and maybe they just were like, oh, we'll go with what Hendon says. But yeah, John Joanna definitely not part of the Americas. Maybe they were running low on North American players, but I'm pretty sure Felipe Ramos or Angel Guillen might have been in the house to play on one of these teams. Yeah, somehow Joanda made his way into the team. I'm kind of surprised by that myself as well. Daniel Kim says, Remco, I need you back twice a week. My lunch hours on Monday suck without your stream. Talk to the manager. Talk to my boss. See if we can get the stream back twice a week. I'd love to do the stream twice a week. If we can get some fun guests, and maybe we can do some of these shows in person when the pandemic is truly over and we have some more live poker to talk about. But yeah, shows once a week, guys, for everyone tuning in. Once a week, every week, usually at 5 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we usually play the show.
I had last hand.
Phil got just what he wanted.
The blinds are at 3 and 6,000. Team Americas has only 7 big blinds left. Phil's got to call all in here.
Sir, you have anything? I mean,
Every time.
2 cards.
what?
2 cards.
2 cards? Did you look at them?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Good enough to go in. If Deuce is good enough to go in, you can guess which one we fold.
I love that Elke speaks for the qualifier. That's smart.
Can you beat King 4? Can you beat King Queen?
What a slow roll. King Jack is really good.
Stop that.
He's starting to crack.
Stop it.
It's at the end of the 5 cards that it matters.
Yeah, but I didn't tell him what I had, so.
Boy, Phil's struggling with this.
How's he not calling all in?
Lays it down.
I think
Wow.
Phil was supposed to gamble there.
Terrible fold.
But he's got 11 bracelets, and I've got a Costco membership.
Terrible fold.
So America's trying to avoid going down 2-0.
What's our button? Ace 4, I had King 4. Wow, you had me dominated.
Wow.
Dang!
That's a big one there. That's pretty impressive.
Good lay down.
Phil with temporary memory loss there, trying to justify his fold.
Scottish amateur John Harvey holding up well.
If the blinds were 5 and 10, I would have called him.
I mean, shouldn't Phil Hellmuth be lighting up this qualifier in this match? Huh?
I just got a question in the chat. How much are they playing for? That is a great question. I can't find any information on the buy-in of this event. It's also on Hendon Mob not listed as something with the prize pool. I'm pretty sure there were heavy side bets going on these matches, but I cannot find any information on that. This was supposed to be an annual event. They've only done it once, which is a shame because I think this format is just fun to watch. It's exciting. It's engaging. It has all the top players in there. But yeah, hopefully they'll bring it back at some point. But yeah, this was the only time they've ever done the Caesars Cup, I believe.
If the blinds were 5-10, I would have called him. Or if I had a read that he was weak, I would have called him.
Phil Hellmuth for the defense, but he and Negrano are running out of time and chips here.
Team Europe with 164,000 chips to 36,000 for Team Americas. John Harvey. Boy, are they catching cards?
Wow.
Pocket kings all in again.
You seem a little weaker this time.
Well, not Phil's best read.
Phil with a 7. And a deuce. Talk about weak. Yeah, and he'll lay it down. He's lucky he didn't have a hand there.
It was good read, Phil. It was weaker.
He was a bit weaker.
He was a bit weaker. Last time he was aces, now it's only kings.
This should be flat fold.
Lucky we didn't get nothing.
Good read.
Question from Couchfest on Twitch. He says, who you got? Phil versus Daniel. Should be fun. Well, Couchfest, I am going to go with Daniel Negreanu. I think he has the upper hand, having played so much against Doug Polk, honing his craft as a heads-up, no-limit hold'em player. Phil Hellmuth, on the other hand, is not studying, does not need to study. He is the poker brat. He has the most bracelets of all time. Maybe that's going to help him. Maybe it won't. I just don't think he's ready to face Daniel Negreanu with all the new tricks that he's learned over the last few months. Let me know in the chat if you guys are on Team Phil or Team Daniel for the upcoming match. I think it is going to go towards Mr. Negreanu, but who knows? Hellmuth won 3 straight against Esfandiari, so can't really count him out ever.
King 4. Jack 9 for Europe.
No, Elke doesn't want to give away anything easily.
Is it that bad?
Now, wait a minute. If he asks Dario, Dario says call. Eastgate says fold.
We haven't seen the hand.
Europe
We don't know what he
folded.
has.
Jack 9 off.
See? Queen 6.
But gonna fold it behind when you go all in, so.
All right, John Harvey in Europe.
All in.
Ace, Trey, offsuit, all in.
Hellmuth frustrated and short stacked, and the amateur keeps pushing all in on him.
All right.
And Hellmuth will lay down his 4 deuce.
I would have studied another few seconds. Just move it on me every hand.
Correctly, though. He's had the goods.
I wish I could say I told him to do that, but I didn't.
John Harvey doing pretty well against the 11-time bracelet winner.
Still got 30.
All right, action on Daniel Negreanu. 8-5 off, and he'll lay it down.
The Americans have gone card dead at an awful time.
All right. Phew.
Team America's looking for a spot in which they can get all their chips in the middle.
We get to pick up some hands.
We did. Picked up aces and 7s and
That's true.
king jack and twice.
It's a little different now. I only have 21 left, kid.
Well, plus that.
I know that, but
Hellmuth looking for a handout. Not going to get one.
All in.
Another ace tray for Harvey. All in, an ace for Team Americas. They only looked at one.
I only looked at one card, to be honest.
I guess it's an ace. Oh boy, ace.
Oh,
three.
turn
I
it
looked at
over.
Ace of clubs. That's all. I swear, that's all I looked at.
Well, let's look at the whole thing.
Well, we got to see both of them.
Let's show the audience at home, but let's not look ourselves.
Let's all look.
Just
We can't
turn it
slow
over.
roll them like
Show your
that.
card, Phil.
Americas does not slow roll, Phil. It's another ace.
Oh!
In effect, it was a slow roll. As a rule, just show your hand promptly. Thank you.
He so deserves to get sucked out on.
I hope
Dude,
Phil
you guys
loses
deserve to
somehow.
get sucked
That'd
out
be
on for all
amazing.
the slow rolls.
Huh?
You guys deserve to get
I
sucked
didn't
out
look
on
at it.
that.
I
He didn't
swear I
look.
didn't
He
look
I
at
don't
it.
care. I don't care.
Wow. And that's over here. And that's over there inserting her opinion.
You still deserve to get sucked out on for the other one.
That's
He didn't
what
see
happened.
it.
That's what happened to
see
me
it.
at the.
No, he didn't
I
see
told you I
No,
didn't
the
see
other
it.
one, the first one.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't think that was fun. I wasn't happy about that.
All right, here's the flop.
Ooh.
Deuce
Oh,
four
yes.
king, a wheel draw for Europe.
One time. Now is the one time. Come on, dear.
Five clubs.
We want a 3.
5 clubs. No, three. No, 3. 5
Three.
clubs.
One time.
You see the out tracker. Europe needs a 5 to win.
5.
And there it is.
What you get?
The slow roll leads to a bad beat.
Team Americas can only hope to chop, and that will not do it. Europe cracks the aces of Hellmuth and Negreanu and goes up 2-0.
There we go.
Hellmuth and Negreanu.
2-0 for Team Europe. In your face, Team Americas. That was epic. That's one of my favorite ways of pocket aces to lose. That is one for the ages. Terrific hand. Amazing play by John Harvey, the Betfair qualifier, who did an amazing job with Elke here. And we have a 2-0 lead here. And we have four players left available on either side. Let's see who the team captains pick.
Well, what did you think of your captain's play there? You guys are obviously playing quite closely together.
Well, I wish that I wouldn't have called the re-raise with 8-9 because it puts pressure on Daniel, and I felt like we were, because I have a qualifier who's feeling a lot of pressure, I felt like we were way the better team there. And in calling with the 8-9, I could put him in a bad situation, and then that was a pretty unlucky flop for us. And but look, if we hit that hand, we win.
It is true. Now, what do you think of your teammates' play as well?
Well, I think what we could have done a little bit, maybe was discussed beforehand, what we could have done to maybe manipulate the situation with the qualifier. Because actually really early on, we noticed that he seemed a little bit more careful. He wasn't betting a lot of flops, and that put Phil in a real kind of a striker position. Yeah. So like you said, maybe we should play a little more small ball against that guy, and then I'll just try to, keep Elke, the maniac, off of us.
Really unlucky as well, guys. And it was interesting to watch with the qualifier, but unlucky for that second match. Good luck in the next ones.
The first ever Caesars Cup features some of the biggest names and brightest stars in the
I wonder where the Caesars Cup actually is right now. At whose house does the Caesars Cup reside? I'm very curious to hear more about it. Let's see what we got here. Beard Smith says, the game is no limit Hold'em. I'll take Hellmuth. Both are fantastic, but Phil is the best Hold'em player ever. Wow, Beardsmith, that is incredible. I appreciate that. Throw for Action says, where can I bet on Daniel versus Hellmuth? I don't know. I usually bet with my friends, but you can do some digging online and maybe you'll go find a line somewhere. But I definitely think that Daniel has the upper hand. But if you can get Hellmuth at a good price, I would definitely try to see if you can get some money down, because that would be a lot of fun to do. Have a little bit of a sweat on the action. What else we got going on here? We got lots of love for Daniel Negreanu, by the way, in the chat on Facebook and on YouTube. That is really fun to see. But we also have a lot of love for Hellmuth. So I wouldn't say it's 50-50, but I do think it's about 60-40 right now. In favor of Mr. Negreanu for the upcoming high-stakes duel, March 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on PokerGO. Don't miss out. Here we go. Next matchup. Curious to see who will get picked for the next match. I believe we are into the next episode. Just so you guys know, every single piece of content that I stream on Run It Back is available on PokerGO. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this to hang out with you guys. If you have any questions, please go send them into the chat. If you don't like my commentary, just watch all this on PokerGO right now. It's all available there already.
Most beautiful cities tonight, London hosts the conclusion of the first ever Caesars Cup. Inside the casino at the Empire, in the heart of the city, a wealth of poker talent, Team Americas and Team Europe battling for international supremacy. After 2 matches, Europe is throwing a shutout. If Americas can get on the scoreboard, we'll move to heads-up action.
If Team Americas gets swept, Lon, I may have to move to Europe.
It looks like Captain Annette Oberstad has selected herself to play, along with Italian Dario Minieri, and now Daniel Negreanu has the opportunity to counter.
Well, we're going to throw in Jennifer Harmon and Doyle Brunson.
Wow.
2 big game regulars will try to stop Team America's losing ways.
That's 12 World Series bracelets right there. And on the other side of the table, Europe main event.
Legends, Dario and Annette, who are no longer in poker for as far as I know. And then, of course, Jennifer and Doyle, poker lifers, still playing in the big game up until, of course, pandemic, but still amazing to see them both playing together. Urban Ninja Fu says, what kind of bike do you have hiding back there? That's a Cannondale Super 6 Evo. It is my race bike, my carbon, my light carbon bike. It's my beauty. It's my pride and joy.
Discussing your hand with your teammate, you're on.
Fat Memrites. These names on Twitch are so difficult to say. I don't know how you guys pick these names. He says, at PokerGo, who would you pick as a teammate in a match like this? That is a great question. I would go for the fun angle. I would want to have as much fun as possible, just joke around. So probably someone like, good. I'm stumping myself a little bit here. I might want to play with Bryn Kenny or JRB or Nick Petrangelo or Jason Kuhn. Someone fun, someone that I can have a good time with. That would be the most important thing for me. Let me know in the chat who you guys would want to play with in a heads-up format like this. If you're playing heads-up in this format, who do you want to be your partner?
With a continuation bet of 6,000. And that will induce a fold from Texas Dolly and Team Europe back to their winning ways.
Yeah, their aggression pays off immediately. Doyle beat Annette last year in a promotional heads-up match here at World Series Europe.
In the first 2 matches of the Caesars Cup, the players alternated bets. In this format, they will take turns playing an entire hand against the opponent.
The Americans have a whole lot more experience here. Jen Harmon, like most of the world, is older than Annette. Doyle is 112 years older than Dario.
All right, so it will be Oberstad taking on Jen Harmon here. Oberstad looks down at the Doyle Brunson, 10 deuce.
Let's see if she knows what to do with it.
Remaining aggressive, a raise to 5,000. Harmon with 9-4 of diamonds.
That's the Herbie Gelman.
See, she knows what to do with it.
Well, he's a friend of mine. Used to play this hand in the late 60s. Never won with it.
Harmon makes the call for 3,000 more. And here's our flop. It is 6 ace 4, a pair of 4s for Team Americas. Jen Harmon checks.
Most of the Europeans are internet trained. Annette started playing online when she was 15. Dario played so much online, he accumulated enough player points to acquire a Porsche.
Another ace on the turn. Harmon checks again. And now Annette Seems to be done with checking. With 2 aces on board, she's going to try to buy it 6,000.
It's interesting, she declined to do the continuation bet on the flop, but she fires out here. It's a tough call for Jen.
But she does indeed make the call with her pair of 4s and the 2 aces on board.
Interesting hand
Now
right off the bat here.
card is a jack of diamonds. Team America's with the best hand, aces up. Jen checks, as does Annette. Showdown time means Team America wins.
Whoa, what happened? We got glitched out.
I'm playing with gold poker.
Lon and I.
Oh, we're back. My fault. All right. I think something went wrong with my VLC player, but it is working again as it should. Appreciate everyone chiming in, letting me know who they are rooting for in High Stakes Duel. We have May saying Team Negranu. That is probably the majority side still up until this moment. Taylor says classic Brunson against Brunson. That is indeed true, going up against the 10 deuce. Nice call by Jennifer Harmon there. Mitch and many others have congratulated me on the new house. I appreciate that. The new house, we got the key just yesterday, and we're very excited to get moving. It's going to be a big weekend, moving a lot of furniture to our new house. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm going to build a little bit of a studio in the office. That should be very good for the show as well.
Team America's getting aggressive and outplaying Team Europe there.
And it works as Minieri lays it down.
It's a bluff. A frame. I mean, yeah.
What are you gonna do about it though?
If you're gonna get bluffed, you might as well get bluffed by the best.
So Team America's with a slight advantage here in match number 3. And the ladies will match up here, Jen Harmon and Annette Oberstad. Annette looks down at King 7 of clubs.
In 2007, she won an 180-player online sit and go while only looking once at her hole cards. That seems beyond belief.
She calls for 2,000. Jen Harmon with, well, 10 deuce.
She can't play the Doyle Brunson. She's Jen Harmon. She has no idea what she's doing.
What pressure playing that hand with Doyle as your teammate.
There we go, 10
Here's
deuce.
The flop. It is 6 queen 10. Middle pair is good for the lead for Team America's.
I love this.
Jen checks.
You know, if you're going to play the Doyle Brunson and you hit part of the flop, you got to bet it like Doyle Brunson.
Oberstad checks, a 9 on the turn. Team Europe picks up a double gut shot straight draw, but Team America's still best with those 10s. Harmon bets 4,000.
There we go. Papa would be proud.
And now on Annette, the captain of Team Europe. Oh, and there's that aggression again, a raise to 15,000.
Wow. Papa might be more proud of Annette semi-bluffing right there. Maybe the King 7 is the Annette Oberstad.
Maybe very soon.
Well, back to Jen Harmon. She wrote the chapter on Limit Hold'em in Doyle Brunson's Super System 2.
She's reaching for chips, but now double checks her cards.
I can't win with this hand like you can.
Oh, Annette outplays Jen.
As Jen Harmon lays down the best hand.
You got to see it to the end. You can't dog it.
Texas Dolly's right.
Doyle was right. They had the best hand, and then Oberstad gets the bluff through. Urban Ninja Fu says, any word for running back another season of high stakes yet? We will film more high stakes poker later this year. We're still putting those lineups together. A lot of work, time, effort, and money goes into creating high stakes poker, but there will be more later this year. If I'm going to do more run it back high stakes poker, probably. I'm not sure when. I don't really have a plan about when I'm going to do what show. Next week, however, I'm going to have Ben CB on the show. Online high stakes tournament legend, someone that everyone, including myself, can learn a lot from. And I think you guys should all tune in for that. 8 p.m. Eastern time is going to be the time when we go live with Ben CB, and we're going to watch some high stakes tournament action next week here on Run It Back. Today I'm solo. Today I'm counting on you guys. Send me some questions. Send me some ideas, requests, remarks. Let me know where you're watching from. I am live here on the show, and what we're watching is the 2009 World Series of Poker Caesars Cup in London at the Empire Casino. It is Team Americas versus Team Europe. Doyle and Jennifer Harmon currently are playing a doubles poker format. Wow, my VLC freaked out again. Doubles poker format against Annette Oberstad and Dario Minieri. The Europeans are up 2-0 in this best of 7 format. So 2 more wins for Team Europe, and this game is over. Let's see if Team America can make a bit of a comeback.
Wrestling coach or a wild banshee.
Jen with a private viewing of her hold cards. I hope we get to see. There it is. Pocket trays for Jen Harmon.
Jen with 2 World Series bracelets. Everybody on Team Americas has at least 2 bracelets. Here with a small pocket pair and with the blinds and stacks.
Daniel Kim says if there's any, he's asking if there's any video of the tournament Annette Oberstad won while only looking at her hand once. I don't think there is. I do remember that being a big story back in the day.
Jennifer puts a chokehold on Dario's Jack 2 off.
And into the muck, Jack 2 goes, and Team America with that pot.
Dario does the right thing, and Jennifer pads a slim chip lead for her and Doyle.
Now you're going.
Huh?
So now you're going.
How can they clap just because they got a hand?
Well, what do they do in Norway when they get a hand? Whistle?
So another small step for Team Americas towards getting a first mark on the scoreboard.
The American team is more experienced, but the young European team is more experienced in short-stacked heads-up play. They got a lot of
Urban Ninja Fu is, you're wondering on Twitch if there's a way to get a seat at the table of high-stakes poker. If you have enough money to play on high-stakes poker, you should definitely let me know. My Twitter handle is right here. My DMs are open, so if you are someone who has the funds to play on high-stakes poker, reach out to me, and I'll bring you in touch with the person putting together the lineups. That goes for everyone, by the way. If you have a lot of money, you want to play on high-stakes poker, just let me know. I can't promise anything, but at least I can put you on the list.
I'm all in.
Doyle puts Minieri all in.
Doyle loves his ace, but it's behind. Now, Dario's going to think about this, but he's got an ace heads up. He'd have about 10 big blinds left if he folds. I gotta believe he calls.
I call.
He does indeed make the call.
We dominate.
Ooh.
And Team Europe in pretty good shape to double up.
Nice. Ace 8.
Tough spot for Doyle. He really didn't have much choice.
There's a lot of 6s in that deck.
Aren't there as many 8s in the deck as there are 6s? I'm no Albert Einstein, but I know that much.
Yeah.
Or 2, 3, 7, maybe better.
Anything, just no 6.
Chop it up.
We're not picky, no 6.
Chop it up.
Big
A
showdown.
lot of requests for the dealer to handle.
A lot of big pains.
A chop is a possibility.
They took aces against ace 3. They won the 8-9 hand. I feel like we deserve one raise.
And here's the flop. There's an ace in there. Team Europe still ahead.
Deuce.
Put a 4 and a 6.
You see the out tracker. That's what Team Americas needs to take the lead.
It's about a 1 in 3 chance we will have a chop pot now.
7.
That's not a good card.
Turn card now is a 10. Europe still in good shape.
Deuce.
Well, only a 6 will end the match for Team Americas. Team Europe needs a deuce, 3, 5, 7, or 8 to win the hand. Otherwise, it's a chop pot.
And the river card is a 5 and a big double up for Team Europe, putting a hurt on Team Americas.
Team America's down in the mouth and now down 4-1 in chips.
They win they've won every, like,
80?
everything.
That is one sad looking group.
Whining from Phil Hellmuth. What else is new? I appreciate his banter always being the same. The big double up for Annette and Dario here in the Caesars Cup from way, way back in the past.
Team Europe has been running over Team Americas so far here in the Caesars Cup. They're in good shape to go up 3-0 if Jen Harmon and Doyle Brunson don't get something going. Jen Harmon looks down at pocket jacks. Oh, I pity her.
Oh, but there's no doubt, Lon. She's going all in. Blinds are at 4,000 and 8,000. The Americans have just 40,000 chips left.
That's a lot, right?
All of Team Americas knows what Jen Harmon holds.
Maybe she's taking her time to feign weakness. She's going all in.
And there it is. Their last 40,000. And pocket 5s for Europe.
Snap call.
Indeed, a snap call.
Aces.
You're joking, right? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh my God.
And this time it's Team Europe in trouble.
Just no 5, huh?
Let's get a 5.
If the jacks hold up, Team Americas will be back up to 40% of the chips.
So 2 pocket pair. Team America's in control right now.
If jacks are gone.
And the flop. 10 Queen King.
That's not a good flop.
No, jacks are still ahead, plus America's add an up and down straight draw.
We don't want to see a 9 or an ace. Gives them more outs.
I'm happy with a jack now.
Turn card is a 7. Team America's 1 card from a double up.
Now we can see a 9 or an ace.
Team Europe needs a 5 to end match number 3.
The river card is a queen, and the pocket jacks worked for Jen Harmon, and Team America's doubles up.
All right, the match continues. I'm drinking Topo Chico. It's the grapefruit twist, my favorite sparkling water. No free ads, but Topo Chico, if you're watching, please sponsor the show. Topo Chico is definitely my favorite. I drink it all the time. Sparkling water is the way to go if you want to lose a little bit of weight. Still my weight loss bet. April 15th is the final day. Struggling big time, but we'll make it. We'll get there. It's going to be okay. No more weight loss bets after this one, though. I'm absolutely done, and I'm tired and sick of it. And it's way too hard to be consistent with weight. Haven't had alcohol since January, though. I've been on quite a streak. It's been good for the weight loss.
I'm going to call with one.
And Dolly has one ace.
Let's see what the other one is.
I wish Team Americans would just turn their cards over without the dramatic
He hasn't
delay.
looked at the other one.
It does have the effect of a slow roll.
Oh my God.
Aces
Why does that
again.
happen every time we don't look?
Wow.
Annette can't believe it.
How did they get that 3 times?
Wow.
That's insane.
Nothing surprises me in England. Don't worry.
They're black aces every time.
Team America's got 1 ace, it's got 2 when it doesn't look.
It's easy. You've done it before.
We have a good hand to crack aces with them.
All right, here's the flop, and another ace in there. A set for Team America's.
Jack
I
of
must
diamonds.
say, Team America's plays pocket aces very well.
Turn card. Oh, make it quads.
Is there anything better in poker than seeing Doyle Brunson smile?
Jeez, that's it. That's all he can do, just quads.
I think Doyle could take him on single-handedly.
We actually don't have quite.
Nice hand, Dolly.
We have like 75 or something.
We got about 80.
It took 4 aces to win my first win. My first win in
76.
England.
76,
And
right?
quad aces gives Team America's the lead once again.
All right, the lead is back to Team America's, but they desperately need to win since they are down 2-0 in the battle here. There's 4 wins needed to win the Caesars Cup, and we have the Americas versus Europe. Quads, just daily quads, just no big deal for Mr. Doyle Brunson and Jennifer Harmon.
How about queen? No, jack. Jack?
That's probably the breaking point.
Jack?
Any 2 connected like
Any 2 connectors?
Nothing wrong with some pre-hand strategy discussion.
8,000.
Team Europe looking to get back in the game now. Jack 5 off for Oberstad. And she's pushing all in for her last 48,000.
Bad card.
There's a 4 and an ace.
Oh.
And a call from America.
Oh boy, here we go again.
If Jen had looked at the ace first, I truly believe the other card would have been another ace.
We're live. Put another ace out there. They're hot.
So if Team Americas can take this hand, they will earn their first point in the Caesars Cup competition. All hands are on deck for this flop.
At least he didn't get aces again.
It didn't look like we had a chance to call with 4 clubs.
In the Ryder Cup, does the rest of the team gather on the green before a big putt?
Just put an ace out there.
That'd be good.
I don't know if I would be happy with that.
They're running hot. Yeah, and that psychological thing, too, and it makes an ace come on.
All right, now the flop, deuce tray 9. Americas picks up a wheel draw, stealing some outs from Europe.
Yeah, 5 no longer good for Europe. That would give Team Americas a wheel.
Turn card is a 7, no help to Europe.
And Doyle right there with a 93% smile. That's the chances that Team Americas is going to win this match. Unless there's a river jack, Team Americas will end the match and cut the European lead in half.
The river card is a 5. Team Americas hits the straight to the 5 and finally gets on the board.
They either have to work on those high fives or lose those high fives.
Well played. Good job.
Harmon and Brunson score a decisive victory, and the captain is pleased.
Back in action.
So Daniel Negreanu and his team will not be swept. Doyle Brunson and Jennifer Harmon come through big time in match number 3. They're back in it. Let's go down to Kara Scott, who is with the victorious team.
That was a much-needed point 1 there for Team Americas. You must be kind of relieved, because otherwise you'd be going into match point.
Very relieved because there was a lot of pressure with them 2-0. We don't want them to beat us 4-0. I mean, we want to win this thing, so it was very important. I'm very happy.
Now this is quite a unique format. I imagine there's not a lot in poker that you really haven't played or haven't seen already, and this is quite different, isn't it? How's your experience been?
It was. It's different. Yeah, it is different. It you know, it comes down to when the blinds get up there, you just got to get the best hand.
Right.
So we were fortunate.
Well, congratulations to Team Americas, and on to the next match.
Every matchup so critical. A big confrontation coming up. Juanda and Greenstein for the Americas. Eastgate and Hansen for the Europeans. For Caesars Cup.
All right, we got the Danes versus the Team Americas represented by Juanda and Barry Greenstein. Let's see who can win this match. Let me know in the chat who you were rooting for in this match. Gus Hansen and Peter Eastgate versus John Juanda and Barry Greenstein. It is 2-1 in favor of the Europeans as we head into the final stages of this battle because it is a best of 7. So the first to get to 4 will win the Caesars Cups. Marcel on Facebook says, thank you for taking the time to present this game. I appreciate you watching, Marcel. I really do. Everyone in the chat, on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, I see you all. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure I do this every single week. So don't miss out. 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Thursday night, just to enjoy, lay back, a little bit of fun poker action from the past, a little bit of fan interaction. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please send them into the chat. Also know that my Twitter handle is right here. Give me a follow and slide into those DMs if you have anything to mention. If you want to play in high stakes poker and if you have a lot of money, you definitely should let me know because we are always looking for some big time players for the show. All right, action underway here. Juanda and Greenstein versus the Danes, Eastgate and Mr. Gus Hansen. Aces for the Danes right away, and the Americas get away from that one. Let's see. Ziptic says Daniel on Team America. Isn't Daniel the Canadian? It's Team Americas with the S at the end, plural. So multiple Americas, Canada being one of those as part of North America. Eric, this is live. My Talking is live. The action that we're watching is from 2009. I know the footage quality is really high, but this is already, 12 years ago? It's definitely very, very old. What else we got here? The flag is a mixed flag. It's like a America-Canada flag. The Canadian flag is in the back there, if you can see, just like a hockey game. Oh, 10 deuce.
Something big is going to happen. They just don't know exactly when. Barry Greenstein to play now with 10 deuce of clubs. A raise to 5,000. 6-5 offsuit for Peter Eastgate, and he makes the call.
Barry with the Doyle Brunson. Eastgate has the Herbie Gelman.
I thought the Herbie Gelman was 9-4.
He also played 6-5 off a lot.
The flop is 4 ace deuce. Team Americas with a pair of deuces. A gut shot for Team Europe. Eastgate checks.
Barry looks like he is not going to check.
Barry Greenstein, that pair in the flop. We'll bet 7,000.
Barry knows you have to play fast here. He raised with garbage, hit bottom pair, and now bets like it's top pair.
Talk about playing fast. A raise to 20,000 from Eastgate.
We shouldn't play that hand.
These young whippersnappers have a lot of whip in their snap.
Team Europe steals that hand.
He probably had ace four or something.
Europe is outplaying Team America's plain and simple.
Barry regretting his decision to play the 10 deuce.
It's a good time to not be... If there's a good time to not be getting good hands, this is the level, though. Yeah? 1 and 2.
Juanda preaching patience, but you can't be terribly patient in this structure.
Juanda and Hansen will square off in this hand. John Juanda looks down at 8-4 offsuit. Lines are at 1 and 2,000, and Juanda makes the call for 1,000 more. 10-8 off for Hansen.
Mentioned that the 10 deuce is the Doyle Brunson. There's got to be 35 different hands in the deck that are the Gus Hansen.
Keith Moore is asking how much is first prize money for the team. That's a great question. I have absolutely no idea. They have not mentioned a prize at all, so maybe it is just the cup that is up for grabs here for the Caesars Cup. But stay till the end and find out with me if there was any money at stake here for the Caesars Cup. I'm not sure there was, but I think there was definitely lots of side action and side betting.
Scandinavians, I think they might have, like sort of this mantle to Gus Hansen, which is like play every hand, play really crazy, and push, 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 and never stop pushing.
I think it's not a coincidence that there's a lot of Scandinavian good players. It has to do a lot with weather, I think. Scandinavia has pretty long, dark winter when everybody's at their homes and playing online, for example.
By nationality, you can characterize plays. I mean, the German players tend to be very tight. And that's like that's a trait for a German. It's very interesting because I've spent so much time over here in Europe. And the Northern Europeans seem to be a little crazy.
They seem to, you know, some of the Irish guys, they have that little extra imp in them, and they get a little bit crazy at times.
Italians are bluffers, okay? Italians just, I think they enjoy bluffing more than they do winning. I think just the fact that they bluffed and getting away with it is just the most exciting thing in the world to them.
It's kind of fun to combat all these different styles.
My theory is simple. Northern Europeans have high cholesterol, and people with high cholesterol tend to be hyper-aggressive at the poker table.
Wow, funny you say that, Norman Chad. I believe most of the Europeans are a lot healthier and fitter than you are, Mr. Chad. By the way, where's Mr. Chad? Haven't seen him in a very long time.
Blinds at 2 and 4,000, and Greenstein gives up his king 5. And Team Europe with another win.
Gus telling Peter that the Americans are too tight and not as good looking as we are. That was a low blow.
Yeah, Norman, I think they're saying we're running over Team Americas. Let's end this thing right now.
Well, with this fast structure, it's all about math, plain and simple.
Joanda with 4 tray of hearts.
It's just hard to get too creative when you're playing a shallow stack in a fast structure.
Joanda will push the action, make it 10,000 to go. Hansen looks down at Queen 10 off.
Hansen working as a spokesmodel for a men's fashion line right now. Patrik Antonius used to be a model. A lot of pretty boys on Team Europe.
Joanda wondering what this crazy Dane is going to do. And now he's looking for a raise all in, I guess.
Look, Lon, it's the one-handed, backhanded raise, the most feared move in international poker.
What was that? But it does get Joanda to fold. And now the problem, Norman, is Gus got to stack all his own chips he just knocked over. So Team Europe...
Noisaw suggesting I should do Run It Back with Barry Greenstein. That's actually a great idea. I'll go reach out to Barry Greenstein and see if I can get him on the show. That will be a lot of fun. What else? Jos says, no prize pool, just bragging rights. I believe you're right. It starts to feel as though this is just for the bragging rights. Jay Zager on Twitch, he says, where is Remco from? Well, I am from the Netherlands, but I'm coming at you from Las Vegas. That is where I live right now, but I am originally from the Netherlands and moved to Vegas about 3 years ago. Urban Ninja Fu, I got your DM. I appreciate it. Tachana Fox, I also got your DM. I will pass along the information, and you guys will hear back from the people in charge with regarding to high stakes poker. Hot Since 87 says Dario with 2 exclamation marks. We all love ourselves some Dario Minieri action. Kevmath points out Norman did have COVID, yes, and he's still doing his really odd gambling show on Twitter. And I hope he's doing well, of course. And I love poking fun at Mr. Norman Chad. Hope he's doing well, of course.
Our first big hand, he had Jack 7 suited. That was it.
Come on, you got to touch me for good luck.
Team America's big on the high 5 and now the knuckle bump.
Barry Greenstein will be matched up against Gus Hansen. Gus Hansen with 5 tray of clubs, calls for 2,000. 1 ace for Barry Greenstein. He doesn't look at the other card.
Barry's going to play 1 against 2.
And we know what has happened in the past when Team Americas looks at just 1 ace. Barry with a raise to 13,000.
5-3 suited. Gus is bred, programmed, and cross-trained to play this hand.
Gus will make the call for 9,000 more with 5 tray. And these teams will see a flop. And the flop is 4 Jack King 1 club. Team America's single ace is good enough to lead. And Barry bets 20,000. And Gus immediately folds. Show us the other one, Barry. There's the 1 ace and both aces.
Wow. You're not going to believe it.
If Team Americas has 1 ace, chances are it has 2 aces. It's been amazing. See John and Barry talking about aces over there. I guarantee you Peter and Gus are talking about babes.
That's why I said show it to the camera. I had to see it.
Our team has been really good at that.
Yeah.
Look at 1 ace and then call or raise or move all in and then find another ace.
Work to do.
For the people on YouTube, seriously lagging behind on those likes today. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash that like button if you are enjoying the content. Facebook, I'm seeing lots of likes on Facebook. I appreciate you guys, all of you guys. It is very much helpful for the chat and for the engagement and for other people to find out about the show. I do the show once a week, every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. By the way, next week, Ben CB on the show. online high-stakes tournament legend. If you are not well-versed in the online streets, as some people like to call it, you should definitely go and watch when I have Ben CB on the show, because he is high level and he's very, very exciting to watch, and he's going to provide some insights into some high-stakes tournament action.
Team Europe with the chip advantage. Gus putting together a stack, a re-raise to 32,000.
I'm all in.
And all in from Team Americas,
Wow.
and a quick call
There we
from
go.
Hansen.
Gamble.
Worst hand,
We
probably.
didn't want a quick call.
When I have 32 in there.
No, I didn't see it. Oh, it's all right.
I'm opening it just as a pair.
He made it 10, I made it 32 just for the heck of it. I mean, I obviously don't have 2 aces.
You have what, 2 queens?
What? Would I make it 32 with anything else than 2 aces?
They can show the cards, right now, Norman?
I believe it is under international rules to show the cards before the
I
all-in.
have aces. I called you, by the way.
7 or something.
All right, King Jack against the Ace-8.
Wow, we're ahead.
They're
Okay,
better
any
looking,
king, any
and
jack.
they're ahead.
Team America's at risk.
I hate
The flop 5-7-9,
Jack
nothing
ball
in
one
there for
time.
Captain Negranu.
Europe has outplayed Team Americas, and it has had better luck than the Americans.
I prefer a jack.
King or a jack
King.
would put Team America's ahead.
I know a king's better, but I just
Big one.
Turn card is another 5. Europe still ahead.
Another one then, another 5.
Big one. Picture.
Team Americas
Come on,
seems like
still
it's been
loose,
standing
still
around
loose.
and playing from behind all night.
Any face card. We won't complain if it's a queen. At least we feel like
Team Americas needs a king or a jack, or
gonna be
Team
a
Europe will
jack.
go ahead 3-1.
Big one.
The river card is another 7, 2 pair on board, and Team Europe's ace kicker will win that hand, and the match garnering a commanding 3-1 advantage in this best of 7 competition.
What are we going to do?
If you're going to do something,
All right, it is 3-1 for Team Europe. We are crushing the Americas, of course, Canadian Daniel Negreanu, Indonesian John Juanda, and a bunch of Americans there on the team of the Americas. We're heading into the next match. If Europe wins, that means the Caesars Cup will go to Europe or stay in Europe, since they're playing this in London. Sadly, we have not seen this format since 2009 when this was first organized, which is what we're watching right now. But yeah, let's see how this final matchup leading into a potential Team Europe win will go, because they've all played now.
the Caesars Cup. Let's see who Captain Annette Oberstad is going to pick.
Actually, I am going to pick myself for this because I want to take a little bit of responsibility, you know, try to win this for my team. So I will be picking myself.
I think she's saving Elke, who's probably her best heads-up player, for match 6 or 7 if she needs it.
Now let's hear from Daniel Negreanu.
First, some pressure.
Well, I'm going to go with the guy who's got the best absolute record in these things. He's fearless, strong, he's fresh, he works out, he runs. Huckleberry Seed.
Yeah. Seed, the only player to cash in all 5 years of the National Heads Up Poker Championship, an 18-4 record there,
already ready to
best
go.
ever.
Deal.
Did anyone notice that Phil Ivey has not been seen since he played in that first match? He's definitely totally not interested and totally over it, as Phil Ivey usually is. All right, here we have Annette Oberstad, heads up against Huxseed. If Annette wins, it is GG, game over for the Americas, and that means that the Caesars Cup will go to Team Europe. If Huxseed wins, the action continues, and we will see another match.
To 7,000. Small pocket pair for Oberstad.
Annette, of course, won the World Series Europe main event in 2007, the day before her 19th birthday.
Wangden says, I've watched all the run-it-back shows. I love it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I love to hear that.
Ace 9-10, a pair of trays for Annette, still best. Huxseed with an up and down straight draw and 2 overs is favored. Annette checks. Huckleberry bets 14,000, and Annette immediately folds.
Michael is asking, what am I watching with Mr. Ben CB next week? I have not decided yet. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. It has to be PokerGO content, and it has to be tournament content. So what should I watch with Ben CB next week? It is going to be high-stakes tournament action. That's what he asked for. I was thinking maybe a super high rollerball final table, maybe a Poker Masters final table, or maybe a WSOP main event final table. We're going to do a 90-minute show, so keep that in mind. If you have suggestions for what I should watch with Ben CB, please let me know in the chat. It has to be a tournament, and it has to be available on PokerGo.
And he'll make the call.
Both with good pre-flop hands, heads up.
Seed dominated. The flop now. Jack, deuce, king. The jack hits both. Seed with a jack and the 10 kicker, but he's got a flush draw. Annette with jacks with the ace kicker.
A big flop for both. We could see a lot of chips going to the middle here.
Huckleberry checked. Annette bets 7,000.
Annette with middle pair top kicker. Huckleberry with middle pair inferior kicker, but that flush draw.
Huckleberry has to like his hand. Wondering what Annette would bet with. And Seed is going to make a raise to 31,000.
He looked at her the entire time he was putting his chips into the pot.
I'm all in.
Annette shoves. Seed makes the call,
Wow.
but will need help.
Here we go.
With a pair.
Huh?
With a pair, yes.
I have a pair.
A pair and a flush draw I have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Team Americas hates that.
But the Americans need to learn to turn their cards over a little faster. Every hand with them is a murder mystery.
Big all
The
in.
only good thing is I have more chips, but...
Holdemans. No, he did. I'm not saying he didn't. Yeah.
Wow, you
yeah. No, I thought he had a flush draw.
Pretty good read.
This is the hand of the match. Seed will either end it, or Oberstad will have almost all the chips.
I'm impressed that she went so fast with that.
Now we just gotta hold. And if he is to hit a diamond, do it on the turn. Do it on the turn. And, yeah.
I feel like I was very outplayed there.
You see the out tracker, what Team Americas needs to take the lead. The 4 of clubs will not do it.
Well, let's do it. Let's do
Wow.
it. Let's do it.
What a
Seed
sweat.
has 11 outs. You see him at the top of the screen. He needs a diamond or a 10.
The river card is another deuce, and Oberstad and Team Europe doubles
It's
up.
important to have the ace kicker, not the queen kicker right there.
You had me in bad shape.
Wow.
Your Team America.
Now they are really on the ropes. Annette Oberstad with the big double up. She is now in the lead versus Huxseed. It looks as though Huxseed has very little chips left. If he gets eliminated, the Caesars Cup will go to the Europeans. And of course, this is all, we're just joking around. This happened more than 13 years ago. I have no clue who won. I'm just watching this because I love watching poker and I love enjoying you and inviting you guys to come watch it with me. And I appreciate everyone in the chat right now as well. Please let me know where you're watching from. Patrick, this is from 2009. This is way, way old school. We are releasing all the World Series of Poker Europe episodes on PokerGo that we have the rights to. So go check those out if you haven't seen them yet. There's some really, really fun broadcasts in there of the World Series of Poker Europe main event as well. So that should be something worthwhile to check out for you guys if you are a real poker fan.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
If you had maybe a queen with it, maybe you call.
Huh?
Queen jack, you probably call.
I jack 5.
Usually a lot of psychology involved heads up, but in this structure, it really is all about the math.
So Huckleberry Seed trying to get Team Americas back in this competition. Annette Oberstad, the captain of Team Europe, trying to finish off the Caesars Cup right now. She looks down at an ace. That's
Shakru
always good.
watching from
Ace
Pakistan. I
trade-offs.
appreciate it, man.
6,000 out there.
I'm all in.
And she will put Huckleberry to the ultimate test.
6,000.
He's got a king.
One good one. One good one here.
King should be good enough.
Unless this other one is terrible, I'll be calling.
King 7. Here we go.
I'm ahead. I'm ahead. Look, nuts. Slow roll.
You got a deuce, right?
All right. We got to win one of these sooner or later.
All right.
I mean,
big
King
moment.
7 felt pretty good.
Big moment again.
Yeah, you got to take King 7 heads up with 8 big blinds left. But again and again, Europe gets
We're
its
right
chips
back
in with the better hand.
We're like,
Team Europe ahead right now and a chance to finish off the Caesars Cup.
I'm still taller than you, sitting.
Yeah, you do. Right?
We have home field advantage, okay?
We do.
And the flop. 5-9-5.
It's a good flop.
Ace high, still best for Europe.
Let's see a club on the turn to make it
Clubs,
interesting.
please.
6 clubs, 7.
6 of clubs.
Yeah, 6 of clubs.
6 of clubs, please, dealer.
Team Europe could be 2 cards away from the Caesars Cup.
Just don't put the ace of diamonds. That's boring.
Turn card is the king. Team Americas takes the lead.
Yes.
Some luck for our team. Maybe the worm is turning. She sat back down.
If Team Americas can avoid an ace on the river, they're back in business.
River card is a 4.
All right, Team America's back in business. It is not over yet. Huxseed gets the double up with the King 7. Appreciate you guys all letting me know where you're watching from. No, Kablai. I can't say your name. Watch from Siberia. I appreciate it. We got Pakistan in the house. We got Chicago, Wyoming in the house. I appreciate that. Victoria, Canada, California. We got every single place represented across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Definitely great to see everyone in the chat once again here for this Thursday night action as we are watching some old school World Series of Poker Europe action from the Empire Casino in London. Super throwback. It's all available on PokerGO if you want to watch the rest of the 2009 WSOP Europe main event.
American team alive in this Caesars Cup.
Annette, a big fan of Daniel Negreanu's play, and actually both of them are high school dropouts. Don't try that at home, please.
Europe ahead right now, 134,000 to 66,000. Annette looks down at a deuce of diamonds and an 8 of diamonds.
By the way, I would have chosen a different nail polish.
It would match your toes. All right. Annette trying to close out this Caesars Cup, a raise to 8,000.
She is more of a field player than a math player, and it has served her well.
Huckleberry Seed with King, Queen of clubs.
Seed, of course, does have a math background as an electrical engineering student at Caltech, but he seems more like a field guy to me.
And he's all in. He feels like risking everything.
Big shove. He gets it through. We have Colombia, Ohio, New Mexico, New Brunswick, Texas, Iowa, Colorado, Canada. Wow, we have all of a sudden everyone letting me know where they're watching from. I appreciate that. We have India in the house, as always, as well. I appreciate it. We have Debayer watching from Paris at 3 a.m. and Prince Albert in Canada as well. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to Run It Back. Please share the show, like the show, do all that good stuff. I do the show once a week. We have Ben CB on the show next week. Should be a good time. Some high stakes tournament action. Tampa in the house, Nebraska in the house. I'm just going to keep going on this until we see it all in. I appreciate this. People are wondering how's Huxseed doing. I think he's doing just fine. I think he's just still living in Vegas, doing his own thing. Still super fit, probably hitting threes, playing a lot of basketball. Montreal, Henderson, Michigan, Des Moines, Iowa, Boston. I'm just going to keep going. If you guys keep going, I'll keep going. Scotland in the house. St. John's. We have, what else? What else we have in here? We have Texas in the house again.
Doubles match for Team America.
This might be an all-in. Let's see.
Annette Oberstad. Queen 6 offsuit.
Annette lost her doubles match with Dario Minieri.
I see Toronto. I see England. I see Florida, Nova Scotia, Ridgecrest, California, England. Boston, Mars. Finally, someone who said a planet. I was just waiting for that. Appreciate you tuning in.
Going with the min raise over to Huckleberry.
King 10 for Huckleberry.
Oh, here we go.
All in. And Annette folds.
Ooh, more chips for Huck. This could still go into the direction of the Team Americas. Be very interested to see how that goes. Even more Des Moines, Iowa in the house. Des Moines, Iowa seems to be the hotspot tonight. St. Albert, Alberta, California. We have Gatineau. That's in Quebec. I know where that is. I've been to Gatineau. I've been to the casino there for the World Series of Poker circuit event back in the day. We have England in the house, 2 a.m., Newfoundland, Missouri, Montana, Springfield, Oregon. Wow, you guys are on fire right now. I appreciate this. I appreciate everyone chiming into the chat. Vienna as well in the house. We got it all in. Let's see.
And with that bigger race, she would have Huxseed dominated if she calls him.
Oh, boy. This has to be it, right?
Annette does just that.
I have you beat.
No, you don't.
I have you beat.
No, you don't.
Uh-oh. Team America sees the bad news.
It's not another ace, don't worry.
I sound like a broken record. Europe keeps getting it in with the best of it, and Team Americas has not made up for it with better luck.
So the Caesars Cup is within the grasp of Team Europe.
Underneath the 7, it's the same number of
Well, she's called the Queen of Europe, and Annette Oberstad is tough to beat here at World Series Europe.
To stay alive, Team Americas is going to need to improve their ace tray up against the ace 7 of Europe.
All right, can they do it?
The flop, and there's a 7.
That's a reasonable flop. Right?
That will all but do it. Team Europe can practically touch the Caesars Cup.
Really, it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable.
I would say any 3 cards.
Turn card now is another 7 Team Americas can only hope to chop.
Yeah, only a 9 will allow Team Americas to split the pot and see another hand.
It's a deuce on the river, and that will do it. Team Europe wins the inaugural Caesars Cup.
Team Europe earned it.
9,000 there. I have an ace.
No high fives from the Europeans, just some quiet congratulations for winning the first Caesars Cup.
I've been losing every race, but I didn't have the extra chips this time.
So Europe closes out the first ever Caesars Cup, and it's Captain Annette Oberstad who does it herself. It seemed that every big break went the way of the Europeans. Only Brunson and Harmon managed to put up a point for Team America's. Let's go down to Kara Scott for the trophy presentation.
Congratulations to Team Europe for winning the inaugural Caesars Cup. I'm now going to turn this over to the World Series of Poker Commissioner Jeffrey Pollack to award the trophy.
Thank you. First, let's hear it for Team Americas for playing this historic first Caesars Cup with such honor. And now it's my great pleasure, Team Captain Annette Oberstad, to present you with the first ever Caesars Cup. Well done, Team Europe. Congratulations.
That's a nice trophy. I wonder where it is. Where is the trophy?
A promise of history yielded a dominating performance from the Europeans. The first annual Caesars Cup gave poker's biggest stars a chance to play for more than just themselves. Europe scored the first 2 points, but Team America's fought back in match 3. Ultimately, the Europeans got almost every break, and the cup will stay in Europe for now. For Norman Chad, I'm Lon McCarran. Good night from London.
All right, there it is, pausing the screen as Annette Oberstad lifts up the trophy, and I'm left shouting out Brazil, Sao Paulo, we have Wisconsin, we have Union, Iowa, we have Calgary, New York, Indiana, all in the house, all watching. I appreciate you all for tuning in here. Edmonton, Alberta, Loveland, Colorado, Belgium, 3 a.m. in Europe, big cycling race tomorrow. I'm going to get up early to watch the E3 Prijs. I'm very excited about that. I will get up early every morning anyway, but when there's cycling races on, I will get up even earlier. Thanks everyone so much for tuning in. Ben CB on the show next week on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss out. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be very exciting, and we might learn something. So grab your pen and paper next week, tune in, make some notes, and learn a few things about some high-stakes tournament poker. On your way out the door, don't forget to like this video, follow us on Twitch, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share this video with your friends if you enjoyed it, and please also know that I've done more run it back shows in the past. I've done Chris Moneymaker, Joe Hashem. I've done Greg Raymer watching their WSP main event final tables. I've had Mike Mattisau on to watch the 05 main event, the big blow up with Sean Chacon. I had Lex Veldhuis on the show to watch all his appearances on High Stakes Poker. That was an epic 3-hour show. So if you like the format, if you like the show, if you enjoy my commentary, please go check that out. Search for the Run It Back playlist on our YouTube page. That is probably the easiest way to check out all the action. For now, however, this is the end of the show. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Remko Rinkema. Please give me a follow on Twitter. Slide into those DMs if you have any questions, remarks, or suggestions for future content. For now, that was it, and I'll see you guys next week on Thursday.